Hi, I'm Dr. Spencer Lucas. I'm the Curator of Geology and Paleontology at the New Mexico Museum of Natural History and Science in Albuquerque. And I'm here at the Sandia Mountain Natural History Center, and I'm on the Mud Springs Trail, the Loop Trail, and I'm almost at the summit of the trail. The highest point topographically on the trail is just behind me. And what I see here, the rocks I'm looking at right here, my hammer lying on, these are the oldest bedrock exposed along the center's trails. These are rocks of early Permian age. Maybe they're 280 to 290 million years old. They're rocks that are called Yeso Formation or Yeso Group. That's the name of the rock formation. And what they are pretty much just red sandstones and siltstones that are sitting here very blocky, exposed right here in the trail. And the reason, and this is kind of counterintuitive, you should know that when you look at a pile of rocks, like say you were at the Grand Canyon, the youngest rocks are on the top and the oldest rocks are at the bottom. Here at the center, these are the oldest rocks. They're at the bottom of the pile, but they're topographically high. They're the topographically highest rocks, the opposite of what you see in the Grand Canyon, because all the rocks at the center are tilted. They're tilted off to the east. So if you look at the tilt here of the rocks, the slope of the mountain range, the slope of the Sandia Mountains, has these rocks lying along there tilted up. So the way it works is these rocks, which are high here, are older than the next pile of rocks, which are lower as you go down through this tilted pile of rock. Now, what do these Yeso Group rocks represent? They represent essentially deposition along the far northwestern fringe of the Great Permian Basin. I hope you've heard of that. That's the Great Basin, the marine basin that existed mostly in West Texas and part of southeastern New Mexico. It's famous because it's a place where a lot of petroleum has come from. Well, anyway, during the time of deposition of the rocks in the Permian Basin, the sea was present down near Carlsbad in southeastern New Mexico. But as you went to the northwest, you got out onto land, and these rocks were deposited on land or very close to the sea. They represent sand dunes, they represent coastal tidal flats, some stream deposits, maybe even some pond deposits along the vast shelf, northwestern shelf of the Great Permian Basin. And this piece of rock in particular, this one I'm picking up, even shows what we would call ripple marks. They're not very good ripple marks, but there are ripple forms on this, and this is formed by oscillating shallow water out here on this vast coastal plain. So to recap, these are the oldest rocks at the Sandia Mountain Natural History Center. They are rocks of early Permian age, about 280 to 290. They're called Yeso Group, and they represent the vast arid coastal plain that was northwest of the Great Permian Basin of West Texas and southeastern New Mexico.